Hello and welcome to the Last Place Fantasy Football Podcast. My name is Ryan. I'm here with my co-hosts Josh and Ethan. This is week 7. We are doing our week 7 dream lineup. What do you guys have?
Well, I mean, first I say let's talk about last week
Let's
and the
no, we
debacle
need to
that
talk about
was
the
that.
scores. We need to know
Yeah,
who wins.
yeah,
Who
we
is
need to
Oh,
winning?
know.
okay. Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
let's
go
go right
straight
into
into
Forget
that.
the
yeah,
rest. Who's
So,
winning?
let's do it. Let's do it. So I calculated it and feel free to check my math, but Josh has 143.62. I have 173.8 and Ethan has a very measly 167.6. So I am the leader this week
Mm,
by about 6 points.
seems
So
suspicious.
the whole
that's why I said feel
the whole
free.
Brady issue threw me for a
Yeah.
loop. And
Oh yeah,
that one
Brady's
I
what
Well,
killed
and
my
your
team.
yeah.
and Ethan's well, and Ethan's whole Mike Williams
Oh, that too.
uh the flex
Yeah, he got
3.7 points.
locked by
Yeah.
Certain.
Dude, sir. All
That's
right,
kind of
side note.
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Sertain has been will say the best corner in the league this year.
Oh
He has
God,
been very, very productive.
Yeah.
Josh, do I have to play your wife this week?
Yes, in both leagues.
Well, that's weird to say on our podcast, but
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, Ethan plays Ashley in both our
We need
our keeper
context,
league
guys.
and dynasty league. Jeez, Ethan.
Just you don't say something like that about somebody's wife.
What?
What? That I have to play her?
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. And now you can tell who are
Oh,
the two
we
people
make
married in
we
this
make good
situation.
podcasts. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
We
family
make good
podcast.
podcasts, people. It's a family podcast. All right.
I hate
So
both of
this is
you.
our dream lineup for this week. I'm currently in the lead. This is the first week that we're doing this. So we have a leader, but this season ain't done, guys.
No,
This season ain't
not
done.
even
So
close.
um do we have anything that we wanted to talk about from last week? Maybe even the Monday game because we really didn't get to talk about it too much.
I will say like the Monday game. I know this isn't necessarily a news and injuries show, but I mean, I think we could talk about a little bit about Robbie Anderson and Russell Wilson.
Yeah, we can talk about the trade.
So Robbie Anderson, I think, does absolutely nothing to fix the issues with the Cardinals. It is a band-aid, but it's
Yeah,
just strengthening of a position. I mean, the big thing out of it is Hollywood's going to be
for
out for 6
sure.
weeks, and that sucks because he was doing really good. But
Yeah.
I have serious reservations about what the offense is trying to do week in and week out. And again, Robbie Anderson is like a linkier version of Christian Kirk. I don't think this does anything
And
personally,
worse.
in my opinion.
Yeah,
Some
and
cases,
I
yeah.
don't think it does anything either. So it was kind of a stretch for them to go after him. I think they were just trying to play off the desperation of getting him out of there.
Yeah.
Getting like the Panthers wanting to get him out of their locker room because obviously there was issues going on off the field
I do want
between
Yeah.
at least
yeah.
the coach and Robbie Anderson. Whether it goes deeper than that, who knows? But it was very visible that there was at least a lot of friction and a lot of tension between those two.
I
So
do want to bring up something that I found very interesting is that Robbie Anderson really didn't get traded for much. He actually got traded for
mhm,
two late round picks. And I find that interesting
yeah,
because before the trade, the Panthers only had 9 picks in for the next 2 years.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of their stars, it's going to be quantity over quality, sorry, when it comes to
yeah,
these trade requests.
Quantity over quantity.
Yep, exactly.
Keep
We're
making
already
moves
hearing,
and something will stick.
yeah, we're already hearing CMC, but they're kind of doubling down on the 2 first-round picks. Personally, I think a lot of that is up in the air. I don't think he gets traded till after the year. That's just kind of how my gut feeling is on that situation.
Yeah.
But I do think if someone was like, "Hey, can we? How about 4 or 5 draft picks for CMC?" That's going to be hard to pass up.
Yeah.
Let me give you my next 18 number ones.
Oh, are you trying to do a Ricky Williams trade?
Now you're getting it.
My gosh.
And
Oh
then
man.
the other thing, do you want to? Oh, what was the other? It was Robbie Anderson and okay. I was gonna say if we're gonna take anything out of this Monday night game, which yikes, um, are
That's a
we
nice
are
way of
we
putting it.
putting Russell Wilson in the DJ morgue? Is Russell Wilson our first DJ morgue recipient?
Mm.
No,
Honestly,
no,
with
he's
this
gonna be okay.
injury, at least for this year, I think I'm putting him in the DJ more. At least fantasy wise. I
Yeah,
don't think he's gonna put up good numbers the rest of the year. That's just me. So
no,
I
I don't
just
think
don't
so either.
think
I just
that
think,
yeah.
yeah, I just think
Go ahead.
a lot of their issues are you can't really fix during the season. I mean, theoretically you can,
I
but it would just take a
agree.
whole crap ton of work and it'd be a complete identity change. And that's something I don't know if they're willing to do that. So I do find that to be very interesting. Um, anything else on
Because
that?
who do
This
they who are they playing this week? Broncos.
they play the good question. I had it up for a second.
Good questions.
I will bring it up. They are playing.
Oh, they're playing the Jets.
Ooh, I'm
Ooh,
picking the Jets.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm picking the Jets over them.
Well, I mean, yeah, with
Especially
how
with
bad
this hot
Denver's look.
start that the Jets have had.
Denver's a 1 point
So
favorite. What the heck?
Unless like Pat Surtain just absolutely takes
yeah.
over
I
and
mean, here's the thing.
dominates the
Yeah.
entire
Here's
secondary.
what I find interesting, and I mean,
But
I guess
even
this is a
then
good
they'll lean on Brees and Carter.
I guess this is a good segue. So not into dream lineups, but our who to drop, who to add. I put down Elijah Moore as a drop candidate for me, just because
Mm,
you're waiting
mm.
so long
Yeah,
for
did you
this.
see the interview with Elijah Moore?
No, I have not yet. What did he
They
say?
I
they did like a quick like interview after one of the practices this week. I think it might have been Monday or it might have been even after the game on Sunday, but it's like very recent. And they're just kind of asking him what his thoughts were on the team. And it was more of like obviously I'm not happy that I'm not contributing, but as long as we're winning, who cares?
Yeah, that's a nice
yeah.
team PR answer, but you have to know that man
It was
has to be
BS.
seething.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely.
So I mean he has to get used somewhere. Like literally this game, Sertain is going to be on Corey Davis or Garrett Wilson. My guess is going to be Garrett Wilson. And if that's the case, don't expect Garrett Wilson to do anything because Sertain's that good.
Yeah.
So that leaves you with Elijah Moore and Corey Davis versus the corners 2 and 3 for the Broncos. And that's where I do think Elijah Moore can win. So that's where I think if there's any game for him to really like make the push, it's going to be this game. But I'm also for this year as a like for just for this year, I think I might be out completely.
Mm. Okay,
And
let's get
I
into it,
hate
man.
saying that because I love Elijah Moore, but
We know you do. You have a
Yeah.
fat head of him.
I
Your
do
body
not.
pillow, and when you
I
don't want to hold your
honestly
wife.
I thought he looked really good last year,
Not
and
body
I
pillow.
loved the chemistry that he had
That's one
with
of
that
those dolls.
QB, but
No,
oh, God.
no. I have
Um
the giant cardboard cutout.
Yeah, you got the giant cardboard cutout
Yeah.
that he puts in bed with him.
The big
between
teddy bear
him
that
and
can
his
hold
wife.
you with Elijah Moore's face on it.
But it's old
It's a
Miss
body
Elijah
Hold me,
Moore.
Elijah.
Moore's.
Dude, I feel
Oh
like
God, you guys crack
Get
me
out of here,
up.
Ashley. It's me and Elijah time.
oh jeez.
Anyways, let's talk
There,
about
we
dream
found
lineups.
the
That's not
we found the title of our podcast this week. Elijah time. There you go.
Elijah time.
Okay.
Elijah.
So all right.
Is this
So
a
let's
stop
go
in the
ahead
Flacco
and
verse?
start our dream lineup.
Oh yeah, the
This is the
Flacco verse is
stop of
dead.
the Flacco. The stop of the Flacco verse. The Flacco verse ended 2 weeks ago. So we're done with the Flacco verse.
Yeah, the Flacco verse
Um,
imploded.
Hopefully never to see it again.
We talked too much about it.
We talked too much about it and they hurt us. And the ominous they shut him down.
Joe Flacco heard us. He's like,
So-
somebody thinks I'm elite again, and then he just couldn't handle it.
I was just
Exactly.
I was going down memory lane. That's exactly what
Dream
happened.
lineups. Dream lineups.
Yeah, so
Stream
That's what we're here
lineups,
for.
stream
All
lineups,
right.
stream lineups.
so we're gonna
Okay. So we got QBs. QBs. Josh, let's start out with you. What is your QB?
Alrighty, this is going to
who's your
sound like a
QB?
homer pick, but considering the people, which yes, guys,
Uh,
this is another
uh,
bipocalypse.
Oh,
This is we're in another bipocalypse right now
yeah.
with the Vikings, Eagles, Bills, and Rams all on bye this week. So honestly, for me, especially because I am 30 points down, I went with a home run threat. Literally, I think this is the best quarterback available right now for this week, and that's Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
I think he's
honestly,
think
it
he's
was between
torching
him
Cleveland.
and yeah, it was between him and Burrow. And who else did I ask you about? Shoot, I already deleted my backups.
Dak.
Oh, it was Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was my backup. But yeah. So give us a reason. Why did you choose Lamar?
So the big thing with let's start off with what makes this game enticing is the fact that the Cleveland defense is just not good this year. And I've also said that like Joe Wood's scheme is kind of pretty simplistic, and the Ravens have always been able to have success with it. The closest games were last year, and the only reason it took a historical amount of injuries for it to even be possible. But nevertheless, I do think Lamar is going to kind of get things right back on track with Rashad Bateman or not. He is like I said in the review, he has the reads. He's making the right decision. He is just not making the throw. And
Yeah.
at least, and I'd rather have not making the throw over not
Russell
making the right
Wilson.
decision. Exactly. So that's where
Mhm.
I think with Lamar, it's once it starts connecting, it's game over from there.
Who are your running backs?
Yeah,
Well,
for sure. Well, let's go on to the rest of our QBs.
We're
So
doing
I've
all
got
QBs. We have the same,
yeah,
Ryan.
we're doing each. Yeah, me and Ethan both have Joe Burrow. I didn't really do that right, but Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
It was
trash.
weak. I know.
F tier
I'm
at
not
best.
Cardi. What can I say?
no, there's no
It
tier. We
was
just
at-
We should have
yeah,
Cardi
took
B
an
on the
L.
show sometime.
Took an L on that one. All right.
okay.
But Joe Burrow against Atlanta, I like this matchup more than anything. He's looked pretty good the last couple of weeks. He had a rough start.
Let me ask you.
Of course, you're gonna say
Let
that,
me ask you on the
Mr.
opposite end.
Atlanta fan. Yeah.
No. Let me ask you on the opposite end. How well are we thinking
What?
Atlanta's D is going to hold up against Joey B?
Like
On a real note, on a serious note.
I don't think they're gonna do very well. I think
But let me point
he's
this out
just
to you,
because they
okay?
can't really rely on the run game.
But let me
whole
just
lot with
can I point out
Joe
one thing?
Mixon.
All right.
Point out
One thing
one
with
thing.
Atlanta.
Just make
All
sure
right.
it's one thing.
They broke Jameis Winston. They almost came back 28-3 on Stafford. They were on Geno the entire time, but Geno played like Geno. They broke Jacoby Brissett. If the refs hadn't saved Tom Brady, they would have broken Brady. and then they just absolutely destroyed San Francisco, which is the only reason why I'm asking how legit is this defense?
So
On a serious note,
on
not
a,
Atlanta past, but this year.
here's the thing with a Dean Pease system, because I do have experience in watching this. It's very much a bend but don't break kind of deal. So like you may be able to move pretty well from like 40s to 40s, but once you get into the like red zone, that's where he usually locks it down. You are going to
But
see
I don't think that's what we're seeing this year.
it, but I've
They're
also
aggressive this year.
well, yeah, no, I think they because what they're doing is if they're aggressive, they get the turnover. Atlanta can run the clock out. That's why they are aggressive.
Hmm.
That and so that's exactly what they did in Baltimore. The only difference is that this defense is way younger than what the Ravens actually ever had with Dean Pease at the helm, because he had the end of the Ray Lewis and Reed era, and then he was dealing with the transition from that. With I think they are a legit defense, 100%. As far as a fantasy perspective, I think you will see points being given up because just because the ball's going to move. Like Joe Burrow will move, but once it gets into goal to go situation, AJ Terrell is going to be on Jamar Chase, and we'll see what T Higgins can do. Because that's where, to me, I think is
And
where it goes
Tyler
down to.
Boyd.
Yeah, that's where
Well,
I
yeah,
think
because
the
it's
matchup
going to be
really is.
Isaiah Oliver
And
and Darren Hall.
and yeah. Well, and Aaron or
Yeah,
not Aaron. Hayden
I don't know,
Hurst.
dude. I
Because
think
Hurst has
I
looked
think
really
Atlanta
good too.
surprises them this week.
Maybe.
no, I definitely think Atlanta.
I honestly, this is a game that I want to watch because
Oh,
No,
I
it
will be
may end up
no,
watching this
being a
game, yeah.
pretty good,
To
here's the
no
thing.
one's
pretty good
surprise.
game.
Here's I think Cincinnati gets exposed here. That, that
Okay.
that's my honest opinion. And I think
Okay.
because what I don't like, and I keep saying this, is just how mano e mano this offense is. It's the entire crux of it is my guy's better than your guy, and we're just gonna make it work like that. Well, what happens when you have a
Yeah.
guy who's just as talented as your guy?
Hmm.
And the fact that you
Yeah,
can't fall back onto that is the problem. Like
yeah.
it's a whole
And
different
Yeah.
scenario. It's like, for example,
I don't want to spiral too much. But I
yeah,
wanted to get your honest
Yeah.
opinion
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
what are we thinking about this
yeah, but
defense?
I just think going with that philosophy, it plays perfect into what Dean Pease wants to do, and Arthur Smith for
Yeah.
that matter.
He's going to trick
Hmm.
them.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, that's going to put more pressure on Burrow and Higgins to, uh, Burrow, Higgins, Chase, everyone to score every drive, especially when you can literally win the game and your quarterback can only throws 14 passes.
Right.
So
I mean,
that's
that's
what.
how they beat him, is
So
keep Joe Burrow off the field.
exactly, and that's what's going to happen, I think,
Yeah.
and it's going to be
But
like a 20-14 win, is my guess
yeah.
for Atlanta.
But moving on, what are we looking like at running backs? Are we going both?
Let's go both here. So I, I, I followed your guys' lead here, and we're gonna ride the hot hand. So Austin Eckler and Derrick Henry are going to be my guys at running back this week.
As well as Ryan's. Well, except
Derrick
Ryan has
Henry.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Derrick Henry.
Yes. So you've got Derrick Henry and Austin Eckler. Why did you choose Austin Eckler?
Well, I mean, so Eckler is playing, and I'll bring this up real quick. So the
I mean,
Chargers are playing Seattle. Seattle's not that good of a run defense,
yep.
and that's where I
They're like
go.
bottom three teams for
Yeah,
yards given up. It's like 170 or something like that.
they're very opportunistic, and that's where you can make this work against the Chargers. But I think as far as running the ball is concerned, yeah, it's going to be Austin Eckler all day.
Well, I mean, look at what he
For
did against
sure.
Denver. That's why I put him in my lineup. Like you're gonna nearly put up 30 on Denver. I'll take that.
Yeah, exactly. And then with
Yeah.
Derrick Henry,
But
Tennessee plays the Colts. Any AFC South div- division game, take Derrick Henry. Enough needs to be
no,
said.
say psych.
No, no psych.
You
I
gonna learn
do
today.
Well, they had the bye week last week, so I'm
Okay.
also putting that into effect.
Yep.
The king is
So
dead.
yeah.
You're gonna
Okay.
anger all the peasants.
So
Good.
okay, so you had Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler. I had Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs. I against Houston. So Jacobs against Houston. He looked really good with volume the last 2 weeks before the bye week. I want to see if that translates into after the bye week. And once he's rested, he's recovered. I think they put him back out on that field again. So I want to see good things from him, especially against a fairly weak Houston defense. So
That's a good
that's kind of
pickup,
my
and
thoughts on it.
that's been a sneaky one, just going against the narrative and the reputation of Josh Jacobs. But man, I mean, he's the running back
Mm-hmm.
4 this year. He
Yeah,
has
and
been
it's because
nothing
of
but
his volume
exceptional.
that he's had.
Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
he's also making like he's also like doing the bet like as good as he can with those opportunities. And for
Yep.
some reason, this goes back to, dear John Gruden, why did you not use him?
Well, he was good last year too. Like he was so consistent.
And who wasn't
He was
there? John
consistent.
Gruden.
He just wasn't flashy. He wasn't he
Uh,
for a starting running back that got 20 touches, you didn't see him get more than 15 to 18 points very
yeah.
often. So,
But for mine, obviously I'm taking Eckler. That's my running back. He's the staple of my team. He's going to be the staple of my pick'ems. I'm also going Saquon's quads again. I just like the matchup against Jacksonville. They haven't looked the greatest
yeah.
against the run this year. They've been a pretty good pass defense, but it's going to be on Saquon. So I just like the match. I don't like to be that guy of like, oh, I'm going to take him, but I
Yeah.
I like the matchup. I was
I
thinking
think if
Chubb, but I don't like him against the Ravens. I don't like CMC. I just had a bad feeling about Lenny. And then the next guy I put as my flex. So, but that was just my thought
Okay.
process.
yeah,
Okay.
I think that's fair.
So,
That's a
Josh,
fair
oh,
choice there.
go ahead. So,
Receivers.
Josh, let's go to receivers. Who are the two that you have?
Alrighty, my two. So you kind of
Ooh.
how is this a boo?
Okay, enough booing.
How is this enough booing? All right. Jalen Waddle and Devontae Adams are my receivers this week. Devontae goes up against Derek Stingley and Houston. Now, obviously, we'll see what happens with this whole like misdemeanor
That's
situation
gonna be a
that's been
brutal
going on.
matchup.
But I do think Devontae's
Well,
going to win that one. And then Waddle goes up against Pittsburgh. Potentially, it sounds like Tua is playing this game.
Oh
So if
my
Tua is back,
goodness.
then give me Waddle against a banged up Pittsburgh secondary.
well, does it
Is he wearing a
concern
bubble
you at
helmet, you think?
all? What? What was that? What do you think?
I said, do you think he's wearing the bubble helmet?
Yeah, I would not be surprised.
Maybe. Um, I was just gonna ask Josh, does it concern you about Jalen Waddle's injury last week? Does it
Um,
concern you about any productivity issues that he could have this week, less than
potential.
or a week
Yeah,
after?
it does a little bit, but he's also played through a bunch of injuries this year. So on one hand,
Hmm.
I am
Fair
nervous
enough.
that like at when is the injury too much, and then um, I'm also like he's gone through this, he'll be okay. What does help is that he is the Sunday night game. I think if this was like a Thursday
Hmm.
game, he probably wouldn't play. If this was an early afternoon game, I don't think he would have played.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Ryan, what you got?
So, I have Sun God, Amon Ra, St. Brown coming back from a bye week and coming off of an injury against Dallas. He's not only going to have, they're not only going to have him back, but they're also going to more than likely have Swift back. He's trying to come back this week.
Can I throw a
So
wild
I'm hoping.
Can I
Yeah,
throw a wild
go
shot
back.
out here?
Go ahead.
I think Detroit
Go ahead.
wins this game.
Negative.
I think if Dak plays and he is unable to keep up, then yeah, for sure. Because
I think even if Cooper Rush plays, it could be
it's
interesting.
not about defeating this it's not about defeating this Detroit defense. It's about keeping up with, a fairly high powered Detroit offense, fully healthy, I
Ironically.
should say, when they're fully healthy. I know, and it feels weird saying that after the last couple of years watching them play. But this year, they
Yeah.
showed the first 2 games when they were fully healthy with Swift and with Amon-Ra. They were a force to be reckoned with. Like they were getting into shootouts. So,
Yeah.
if
Well, then,
they're fully healthy, then
yeah.
they may end up getting into a shootout. Dak can't keep up, then they're gonna
Speaking of
lose.
which, on the other end, what about your wide receiver too?
Yeah. On the other end is on the other side of that ball in that game. CD Lamb. I am hoping for a bit of a resurgence with Dak being in this game. I'm hoping that it is a shootout, and in fact, CD Lamb gets great touches and gets targeted a lot and gets a lot of end zone work. So that's what I'm hoping.
It's
With these
very
2
possible.
picks, I kind of it's a matchup base, but I also like the talent that they have there. So that's why I chose these 2. Ethan, who are your picks?
So, starting off, I got Diggs, man. Diggs is on one. Oh no, wait, that could be wrong.
Yes, go with
Diggs
Diggs.
is
Go
on
with
bye.
Diggs. Go with Diggs. Go
Nope,
with Diggs.
nope.
Go with Diggs.
It's on
Go
Yes.
with
God.
Nope.
It's
Diggs.
on
Nope.
dog.
Go with
Sorry,
Diggs.
Diggs is on a bye. I thought to the wrong guy. It's Sun
No,
God.
nope. It's final. It is set in
Dang
stone.
it.
He said it. He said it on camera,
Dang
on
it.
air.
No, it's Sun God.
Folks,
Um,
Oh,
we were
oh.
hoping he would not
I
notice.
wish you just kind of went through it. Oh man, I would have been like, yeah, cool. I totally get it. Yeah.
Like,
no,
yeah,
it's the wrong
honestly,
one.
I was just about to ask you, oh, what defense are they playing against?
They're playing against themselves.
uh
No, it's
it
Sun
would have
God.
been like, oh,
I
they're
don't
playing
know how
against
much
their
he's back from
couches because
injury
that's where
is
their
the only
butts are
thing,
gonna be.
but I mean, Trevon Diggs looked bad this year, and that's kind of all I really say about it beyond what you said about Sun God. It's gonna be a shootout.
Yeah, yeah,
But then
I
Pittman,
agree.
the other thing,
The other
I gotta
receivers,
say, Pittman.
nice, good pick.
I think they're finally manufacturing targets for him, so I'm excited to see what they do this week. And obviously, he's on my team. It is Tennessee, but I'm not worried.
Well, he's also
I'm more
produced
worried
against
about
Tennessee,
Jonathan
so
Taylor.
he's
Yeah,
produced against Tennessee. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah,
The only
yeah.
issue
but
would be if
I think
Vrabel
they kind
comes
of
up with
upset this
something.
defense.
Yeah, the only issue would be is if Vrabel came up with something diabolical against Michael Pittman. All right, so we are
But
now
time,
on
time.
to tight ends. This is where look
Oh
the
God,
prevailing.
I didn't see it.
Oh
I
wait,
didn't
hold
see
on,
what you
hold on,
put
hold
before
on.
now. Josh,
So
Taysom Hill?
here's why.
he's riding that train. All right.
I'm going
I
to
wrote it
I'm going to
last
ride the
week.
train with
I
this.
lost though.
Travis
Taysom's
Kelsey,
the only girl that ever paid Josh any attention.
as much as I
Oh my
love Travis
gosh.
Kelsey, and I would have done Travis Kelsey, that San Francisco defense can actually cover Travis
Scary.
Kelsey. Yeah, super scary. So I
Yeah.
didn't want to do that one. And
Unless they're
then
playing the Falcons.
yeah, unless.
Yeah.
And then with Mark Andrews, honestly, that probably should be the pick just so I can get the stack. But I am slightly concerned at the injury report just a little bit. And if this game gets out of hand, I do wonder how his fantasy impact is. So I'm going to take the cheat here, to be honest with you. Um, Still limited participants from Jameis and Andy Dalton, and they have the Thursday
Yeah.
night game. I have no idea what's going to happen here, but I do expect Taysom Hill to be quite a bit utilized, especially since he wasn't really utilized in this past game.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I applaud you
And I
for
mean,
taking that
like,
risk. I did
mine
that
mine is
last
simple
week.
enough. I'll let you
So
explain it, Ryan. And he paid for it. But I'll let you
okay.
explain
Yeah,
why, but
I'll
I'm
explain it.
taking Mandrews.
Um
It's Mandrews.
yeah,
But
well
go ahead.
yeah.
I that's really what I was just gonna say is it's Mandrews. That's it. That's
We're
all
on the
you
same
need to
page.
know. Just
Flex
start
time,
him.
baby.
That's it.
Yeah.
Start him.
Just
Look,
start Mandrews.
this is
I
also me
it
knowing
may
that
not be the most. Oh, go ahead. Go
this is also me knowing I'm 30 points behind. So there's also that.
ahead.
If I was more even, I definitely think I probably would have
Yeah,
taken Mandrews, to be honest with you.
and you know it may not be the best matchup, but it's Mandrews.
Yeah.
Like
It's
he's going
Mandrews.
to score points, and even if he doesn't, he's worth the start because at least he's going to score at least like 5 points at the very least. He's going to get looked at by
Right.
Lamar.
And who you
And they're
flexing
going to
this
scheme
week?
him in. So, well, let's go back up to Josh.
No, I don't want to talk about
Josh, who are
Josh's
you
team. I want to
flexing?
talk about your team.
No, we're going back down the list. All
So
right.
Oh,
This is how we're
don't be
doing
so
this. We're not doing it the
traditional.
Ethan way.
so my flexes are going
I
to be
am.
T. Higgins and Alan Lazard.
Boo.
Boo you.
Okay.
Honestly, I
Um,
like the T Higgins a
yeah.
lot, actually.
And the only reason that I
Why
think
don't you
is
like
they're
the
gonna
Lazard pick?
yeah, why not Lazard? Lazard's been the most consistent receiver from Green Bay this year. On top of that, they play
I just don't
Washington.
trust Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I don't trust Aaron Rodgers either, but out of everybody in that wide receiver room, it's Alan Lazard
And
that is
Randall
getting the
Cobb got
most
hurt.
targets. That is, yeah, and Randall Cobb got hurt. So it's Alan Lazard has been getting the targets. He's been getting end zone work. He's been the only fantasy relevant wide receiver in that whole wide receiving room. Like,
Basically, basically what we thought Dobbs would
that's it.
could have been is been Lazard this year.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I'm not losing hope in Dobbs yet. I think he's developing and I think he needs to spend a little more time. But Lazard is the number one there. He
Yeah,
is. And I think against this fairly weak Washington defense and the fact that Taylor Heineke's in and that they're now kind of like focusing on the run game with Brian Robinson. I I like I like the matchup. I like it a lot. So that's why I
Yeah.
have him in my flex. So going back to T
Your
Higgins, why do
actual
you think
flex.
T Higgins is yeah.
so T.
Why do you
Higgins.
think T Higgins is a good matchup?
I was going up
So
against Darren Hall. It's just going to be a good matchup on
yeah,
Sunday.
that it's literally
Yeah.
just a good matchup. No offense to Darren Hall, it's T. Higgins. But that's something.
Yeah. But he's young and T
th-
Higgins is 6'5".
here's what I will say, and I think there is a legit possibility this thing happens. I would not be surprised if T. Higgins sucked, and it's because you go, holy crap, Dean Pease did the Brian Flores method. So like AJ Terrell on T. Higgins, and then they double chase. I can totally
Yeah.
see that happening,
Mm,
especially because how mano a mano the Cincinnati offensive scheme is. And I think that
Hmm.
would ruin it more than anything. Because Dean
hmm.
Pease is a
Okay.
Belichick disciple
To
along with
watch.
Flores as well.
Okay.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
But besides
Ryan,
that,
Ryan, tell us about your other
Um,
flex though.
yeah, but
yeah.
besides that, T. Higgins is
So
that dude.
yeah, I have one of my flexes is Alan Lazard, which we already talked about. My other is Kenneth Walker.
Kung
I think
Fu Ken.
he's Kung Fu Kenny.
Yep, Kung Fu
I
Kenny.
hope this is a plug and pray. Because I hope he's gonna do well against LAC. That's
Th-
kind of
Here,
what I
there.
want him to do. I want him to get work. I want him to get work in the passing game. I don't want him to just run all over LAC. I want him to get work in the passing game. So this is kind of a like I said, plug and pray. Just pray that he does well. So
Man, I think
uh
he'll be
yeah,
fine running.
that's all my reasoning.
I think he'll be fine running the ball. Like LAC has not been the best when it comes to run defense, which is surprising because they did invest a lot of assets into that position. And then like Joey Bosa being hurt, and then they had the Monday night game. So I'm very intrigued to see what happens there. But I do think with how literally the Seahawks O line has been one of the biggest surprises to me. Like honestly, and
Yeah.
this is a question I brought up in the review episode, but I want to bring up after this is who do you think has been the biggest surprise this year? And to me, it's the entire Seattle offense. And so I really do
Jared Goff.
think
Mm,
it's not
I wouldn't say the entire Seattle offense. I would say Geno Smith.
Christian Cross.
That
okay. I could
that
go with
was
Geno
my
Smith
my biggest because Geno Smith
Christian Cross.
I thought was going
and
to be
Charles
one of the
Cross.
worst QBs,
Charles Cross. Thank you. I'm tired.
one of the worst QBs of the
C
league
Cross.
this year. I was not expecting anything out of this offense, and he has made it work. He has
And has made it
taken
look
whatever
really
they've
good
given
too.
him and yeah, and has made this Seattle offense actually look productive. When we know, you know, it's a clunker that's just putting its way down the road, but Geno Smith is the one getting it there. So
Yeah.
if Geno Smith goes down, I don't think
Shout out Drew Lock.
so.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you there. But yeah, I think Kung Fu Kenny is a great pick.
Yeah. Okay. So
Ethan's flexes.
Ethan, what's yours?
Run it back. Mike Williams. This time he does not have Pat Surtain to lock him up for no reason.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh
All right,
no.
fair.
They're on a yeah. I mean I don't know. I'm conflicted now. Because well, who's covering for Seattle? Who's gonna be on him? It's not gonna be a
Uh,
one-on-one matchup, is it?
no, because they'll be the cover three, but Tariq Woolen has looked special.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still taking him. He doesn't have Surtain to one-on-one. I don't know. I think he comes back.
Okay.
But the last one I have is Brees Hall, which might be interesting, but it's my stretch pick.
Beast Hall.
Yeah, Brees Lightning.
Because I
Breeze
mean
Lightning.
Eckler looked good against Denver. Why can't Brees Hall do it? Just as simple as that.
Here's the thing. If Russell Wilson continues to play bad, there is a good chance they end the game running the ball. And
Yeah.
that's just Brees Hall on Brees Hall on Brees Hall.
3 straight rushing
Yeah.
touchdowns.
It could have been that 2 weeks ago if it wasn't for Michael Carter.
Stupid
Alrighty,
Marco.
so
Michael
okay,
Carter.
so with defenses, I'm just basically going to tell you who this team is playing, and that will be my reasoning. My defense is the Patriots because they're playing Chicago.
Mine as
Yeah.
well. And they've
See,
That
I
looked
have I have the Packers
Ridiculously good.
against Washington.
That's fair. You had to be different in that regard.
Well, yeah, I mean, no Wentz. Like, no Wentz? Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, that's our dream lineups
I mean,
for week 7.
yeah.
So we do have one more thing to go through, and that is our bust sleeper locks for this week. Let's just go down the list again. So let's start with Josh. Josh, who is your bust for this week 7?
I really do think either way how they play him, I think he might be in an uncomfortable spot, and that man's going to be Jamar Chase.
Okay. Jamar Chase. Okay. Jamar Chase being your bust for this week.
Yep.
Mine is not a popular one. I'm kind of going out on a limb here, but Dameon Pierce versus Las Vegas. They have given up the 5th least yards per game to teams. So their rushing defense is pretty solid. I don't think he's going to do very well on the ground. He may get some passing work, but I don't think he's going to do well on the ground. So that's my reasoning for it. Ethan?
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
Okay,
Okay, for Derrick Henry, what do you constitute as a bust? 10 or less, 20 or less, or let's go 25 or less?
I think less than 15 points.
Less than 15. Okay. So less than
15
15
max, I would
points.
say.
Okay. For Derrick Henry,
Say
that's difficult
yeah.
to get less than
I
less than
I just have a feeling that the Colts are gonna go like come out and just lock them up. I don't know what it is. I've just got a feeling.
Okay.
That's
I'm
fair.
gonna go with
That's
my
fair.
gut.
I can see it. As much as we love to see like a good stat line from Derrick Henry,
Except for
there
me.
are a couple things that we are noticing with Derrick Henry that we do find to be very interesting. So I guess it's sleeper now. So uh, my sleeper pick, I'm actually going to go to the Colts and Titans game. I think Alec Pierce can be really sneaky this game.
Okay.
That's why here's my waiver wire pickup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to the waiver wire pickups.
Yeah, but he spoiled it already.
Nobody spoiled it until you said
yeah,
it.
no one spoiled it until you said it. You could have just hid the
Spoiler
fact that
warning.
I'm
Yeah,
not
spoiler warning from the spoiler. Okay, so all right. So do you have anything else to say on that?
I
Just
mean,
that
well,
you
besides the fact that I think they're giving him a lot. I think he's solidifying himself as the number 2 receiver. And you saw the Broncos game, you saw this game. Even though he didn't have as many targets this game, I really do
He
think,
still made some strong catches
yeah,
and
he is
plays.
making strong catches. He is basically, it's even more impressive that with only 3 targets, he made an impact with 3 targets. Because then it goes, okay, now we can trust you. Like you don't
yeah.
need volume to help give us a positive impact on our team. So that's where I think Alec Pearson, what we said about him in the draft in our rookie week, is coming to fruition.
Okay. Okay. I like that. So my sleeper for
Yeah, I
week
think we were
7.
all pretty hopeful for him while we were doing
Oh
rookie
yeah,
week, if I remember right. I
Mhm.
think he was like one of those
Yeah, we were.
I'm not too sure about in
I
Indy
think he was a
how
top
he's gonna
10.
fit in, but we think he'll be good.
He was a
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
top
I
he's
10
know
definitely a
catch
top
for
10
us.
player for us.
Yeah, I was kind of down on him because of Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman was already there and he
Yeah,
was the very obvious number 1, but there was no
yeah,
real number 2. So seeing somebody
yeah.
finally
Well,
step
and
up
that's
into
why
that
Josh was
role is
high
great.
and I was hopeful.
Yeah. Um, so moving on, my sleeper for week 7 is Rondale Moore. He has had
Ooh.
8+ targets the last 2 weeks. He's had significant workload. Now, obviously, Hollywood's been out, and that's why I'm saying he's just for this week, he's a sleeper because I don't think Robbie Anderson is going to know the playbook
especially
very well
especially
by the
with
time
the
that they
Thursday
play.
game. That makes sense.
Yeah. Um, he's not going to know the playbook very well. DeAndre Hopkins will be back. So, you know, he's probably going to take a lot of the heat. Um, so I see Rondale doing pretty well this week. Um, Another 8 to 10 targets, maybe even more. So we'll
Hon-
see.
Honestly, when you first said that, I was like, "Oh, I don't know about that pick." But the more you say it, the more you explain it, the more it's like, "Okay, that's actually a good idea."
Yeah. So I just going out on a limb a little bit, but he's just had great workload, a great workload. Okay, Ethan, your sleeper for this week.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of torn between two people, but I think just for my own personal reasons, I'm gonna go with Algier. I think he gets his first
Okay.
rushing touchdown this week. He's
Okay.
already gotten his first touchdown, but his first rushing touchdown this week against Cincy.
Super deep shot. I
Yeah,
appreciate
that's
that.
that's deep. That's deep. I
Well,
like
that's
it
why
though.
it's sleeper. That's why
Yeah,
it's sleeper.
of course.
I like it.
Of course.
So we're on to lock, and I'm gonna stick with my guy. It's
Diggs.
yeah, of course it's Diggs. But no, my guy. I think Lamar's gonna bounce back. The definitely the talk about him, and it got to a really bad point when it came to Ravens Twitter. Again, intolerable. But I
Yeesh.
really, I really do think he's gonna bounce back. This is gonna be a big week for him, and he's gonna remind everyone, oh hey, this is why I'm up for 250 million fully guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I I agree. I agree. Um so my lock for this week, Leonard Fournette. He is
Interesting.
he has just had a crazy amount of work. Like his workload has just been awesome. Passing
Yeah,
and rushing. He has had good opportunities. He hasn't made a whole lot, or he hasn't done a whole lot with his rushing opportunities, but it's the targets that he's been getting. He got 11 targets in week 5, 6 in week 6, both of them with a touchdown.
and
And
he's getting like 10 to like 20
yeah,
carries a game too, so it's
exactly. He's
wonderful.
getting he's getting great usage, and
Doing a lot
it's
of passing
against
work.
and it's against a Carolina defense that ranks in the top, I think it's the top 8 or top 6 um in most rushing yards allowed this year. So
I
I
mean,
think it's a good matchup. I think it's a good situation for him if he continues on this road of having this volume. I think he's a very good lock for this week at
Nah,
least.
Ken,
So
Ken, man, gotta go Kung
yeah.
Fu Kenny. Wrong running back.
Okay.
is
Kung
Kung Fu
Fu
Kenny your
Kenny.
choice?
Kung Fu Kenny season.
Kung
Okay.
Fu Kenny season. All right. You heard it here,
I
guys.
wanted to draft him, but I didn't have another first round pick,
Yeah.
and Philip auto drafted.
Yeah. So you're
Pain.
gonna you're gonna give him the next,
Yep, I live in Spain.
two or three first round picks for Kung Fu Kenny, right?
No, I've tried to make plenty of trades with him. He's like, no, I like my team. Okay,
Yeah, I know.
cool.
I know.
Good suit.
I tried to make a trade for Kenny
No, I
I
like my
couldn't.
wide receiver 4 that sits on the bench except for 1 week. I like him right where he is.
Do we want to
Oh
do we
man.
want to do an impromptu Dynasty League checkup?
Um, Ethan, that's up to you. We'll leave it up to you,
Yeah.
buddy.
Um, I think there's a few things worth mentioning.
Oh, we have to
One
do
thing I
waiver
want to
pickup.
mention really quick.
Okay.
Yeah. So obviously, mine is Alec Pierce, but Josh, I'll kick it back up to you.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go to
Oh,
Josh.
my waiver pickup deck. most likely a lot of people may have been
Hmm.
forced to
Mhm.
drop
Hit or
him.
miss, but I like it.
But I mean, Dak's going to be the best waiver quarterback on there
Mhm.
for the
Yeah,
rest of the year.
you're
So
right.
you gotta pick him up
I
while you can.
Yeah, yeah. If he's on
Already
the
on.
waivers. So my waiver pickup is kind of a streaming candidate just for this week. Because I don't think J.K. Dobbins is going to see a whole lot of work this week. His knee was kind of tight last week. It kept him off the field except for 7 snaps. I think everybody should be picking up Kenyon Drake as a streaming candidate for week 7.
Yep, especially
So
especially for this week. But I will say, as a
yeah,
resident Ravens fan, the reinforcements are coming.
hmm
It's so Gus Edwards is showing up. Justice Hill is going to be coming
yeah.
back. I don't know where Kenyon Drake appears in this.
I don't
Um,
think that's why I'm saying he past week 7, it's a big
yeah,
question mark. But for this week, if you need a plug and play, I believe it's Kenyon Drake. Just
yep.
keep an eye um on the injuries. I don't think J.K. Dobbins is on the injury report this week so far,
I can double check
but
that for you.
um, but I would almost trust putting in Kenyon Drake over J.K. Dobbins for this week. Um, but take it with a grain of salt. So,
Alrighty, so let me.
yeah,
So this is where it gets interesting. So let's see. Oh wow, yeah. JK is not even no, JK is on the he was a DMP today, but Wednesday seems to be the vet day for the Ravens.
okay,
Yeah, because Ronnie Stanley, Ricard, Marcus Peters, Moses, Lamar, a lot of your typical names on here got a DMP today. Except
okay,
Justice Hill did get a full participation. That's good. That's
okay.
interesting.
So Ethan, what have you decided?
For the league.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. There's a couple of things I want to mention.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before we move on, for those of you that may not follow us into this next part of the episode, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel, and then follow us on all of our social media pages at
Do
Last
it.
Place FP, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We post updates every once in a while, but please be sure to like and
Oh,
subscribe this YouTube channel.
and also thank you guys for all the support because
Yeah.
everything's getting so much more content and just growing, and it's just nice.
Yep.
It's a nice
And
little
we're getting,
family, so
Yeah.
we
yeah, we're
appreciate it.
getting views, we're getting subscribers. I love it. Um,
We
and
love you.
we love interacting with you guys. So please, if you have any questions, hit us up on any of our social media. Again, Last Place FP. Hit us up. We love interacting and trying to help you guys out with trades, with waiver pickups, anything. So just hit us up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, back to
Yeah.
the meat and potatoes. Um, there's I want to mention one main thing about the league structure, and then maybe talk about a few matchups. What you guys think? I'm not happy. I was hoping for a league realignment. We were supposed to have a league realignment
We were
because
supposed to. We never talked.
We
Yeah.
never approved it, but
The
We
West
never
is a
approved it.
freaking deadlock, dude.
Yeah. We're definitely going to do that next year.
I
It's
agree.
going to happen,
I
and it's
I
going to happen before the draft.
I made Jacob's team,
You did.
and I'll leave
You
it
did.
there.
and that's how off-season trades work.
Welcome to the off. Yeah. Anyways, no, it's just a deadlock in the West. The East is kind of a surprise with Michaela and Ashley doing so well, but
I
I mean that's
I
really it. I was just hoping for league
uh,
realignment.
here's the thing. I think with Michaela's team, like that's what's like so surprising is we're like, ooh, gave up a lot of like different assets, and then
Yeah.
lo and behold, she could theoretically have a winning record, and again controls the
For the
draft
first
for the
time.
next 3 years.
Jeez. She is. Yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah,
was nuts.
literally, if we go
It's
with her
just
picks,
yeah.
so
That's
2023,
unbelievable.
2 firsts, 2 seconds, third, fourth, fifth. 2024, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then 2025, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So next year is
So
bonkers.
looking at some matchups, dude, this is gonna be an interesting week for us. So oh, did you want to say anything about realignment, Ryan, in the league? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh no, I was just gonna say
Oh,
like we
okay.
were. I apologize for not making that more of a priority. I kind of
Yeah,
brushed
it's okay.
over it, didn't really think about it this off season, very
Definitely
much
what
other
we had
than when we
talked about
talked
in
about it.
that episode where
Yeah,
when we were like introing it, the league that we were talking about aligning it as would have been way cooler, but it's okay.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
But you know,
I
mistakes were
do.
made. It's all right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
something
okay.
where it was something that we definitely wanted to do and then just never got to the time. And by the time we're like,
Yeah.
oh wow, we totally forgot about it. The
Oh,
season.
it's draft time. Holy crap. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so
But
unfortunately, that's where it gets interesting.
yeah. Well, we have a lot of interesting matchups this week. So I'm just gonna overview them and then I'll let you guys kind of talk about whichever one you want to talk about. Um, but I'm playing Ashley, which is gonna be the reason why I think that game is interesting. This is the only one I want to talk about, is because of the bye week. She has no Dalvin Cook and no Cooper Cup this week.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's going to be an interesting one. But the other matchups that I'll let you guys kind of talk about. Ryan is playing Tyler. Go Ryan.
Yep.
We got
I
a
don't have
toilet bowl
anything.
between.
I don't have it
Go
like
Ryan. Go Ryan.
no what. Oh, I was just gonna say
Go Ryan.
I want to win. I want to win
Good.
against Tyler
Oh wow, so
because
different from last year in the
yeah,
playoffs. Anyways,
So
Alex is playing Paul.
so funny.
Oh, so funny. At least
yeah.
I didn't throw a game in the playoffs.
Look. I just want everyone to remember.
Look at me, I'm
Re-
Ryan. I'm gonna throw a
remember.
game, I'm gonna get better draft pick and then blow it.
Why'd you make
Oh,
I
him sound
did.
like
I
George
did.
Lucas?
Oh,
oh,
oh.
I'm Ryan.
When did
Oh, let
Ryan
me
become
blow my
George
draft pick.
Lucas?
I know.
I don't know, it's
I
George
did
Lucas now.
the
Anyways, go Ryan. The
cardinal
only time
sin.
I'm gonna
I did
cheer
the
for him.
cardinal sin of throwing a game. I
And
took out
now
one of my players. So,
And we all
yeah.
still hate him. We got a toilet bowl and Alex and
It
Paul.
didn't help at all.
yeah,
It didn't help.
We have number one going up against number two.
that's gonna be a fun
Josh
one.
and Jacob. That'll be a fun one. And then we have a really interesting matchup between Philip and Michaela. Which one of those guys stands out to you?
I
Um, I will say
Guys or
the
gals?
Paul and
The
Alex
toilet
one.
bowl? Oh.
I am so curious to see what happens there because again,
Who is the
Alex said
worst?
On this show, and I don't care if Alex wins 5 championships after this. The last place trophy will be named in his dishonor
it will
if he's
be
last
the
If
place
he
Alex
again.
belt.
finishes last again. Yeah. The health
Yeah.
award.
No. Oh, I was gonna
That's
say we could
honestly
name
what
it.
I'm cheering for.
We should just name it after his team, the Flex Collector Award.
No, no, that is not a good award name. It will be the Helt.
Does it have to be his name, the
The
Alex Helt Award?
the to-
No, it has to be his name. It has to either be the Helt or the A Helt.
No. Yeah, it was like
the
because
Alex
we have two
Flex.
helts. We have two helts. You
Okay,
can't call
so
it the
Yeah,
so
Helt
yeah.
Award.
just the A Helt. Well, not soon. She's gonna be married, buddy.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, she's not gonna be a Helt
So it's fine.
anymore.
We can keep it as the Helt. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All
Oh,
right.
poor
I
Yeah,
will
Alex.
Michaela's
bring
getting
that
married.
up.
Life update.
I will bring
Anyways,
that up with Michaela and see how she feels about it.
Yeah.
if not, it'll be the A Helt award,
Okay. All
So
which is
right.
fine.
you're not an
I'll bring it
a-hole.
up with her.
But Ryan, which one of those matchups is most intriguing to you for this week?
Honestly, well, it's not really the matchups that intrigue me. It's the team. I I like Phillips' team. Like I could say that last year. It was awful.
Yeah.
It was absolutely terrible. but
Because
I
he's
like his
got
team.
Herb,
He's got
Herb
Herbert.
King Henry, Kung Fu Kenny, Michael Thomas, which he needs to take out apparently.
He
Yeah.
needs to take
Ren-
out.
Renfro,
Yeah,
Yikes.
Njoku,
Njoku's good.
Zay
yeah.
Jones,
Good.
Pickens,
Good.
McPherson, and the
Good.
Patriots defense.
Good.
And but he's still
Hurts.
got Hawkinson on the bench and Justin Jefferson on the
Mhm.
bench.
And Hurts.
He's just not
And
deep
Hurts.
though.
And Hurts. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's deep in weird spots. Like he's deep
Yeah.
at quarterback. He's pretty solid at receiver.
I
And I would
want to
s-
trade. I want to trade for
y-
one of his QBs.
I think you're
But
gonna have to give
He
up the
won't let him
king's
go.
ransom.
But I like my stack. I like my Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase stack. So if I ever got rid
Because
of
I asked about one of his
if I
QBs
ever
and
got
he
rid
won't
of
do it.
Jamar Chase, if I ever got rid of Jamar Chase, I would give up Joe Burrow for somebody else. But I
Okay.
don't think I could give up that stack.
No, and especially that stack is going to be like here for years to come.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well, you heard it here first. We've got the toilet bowl matchup. We've got my matchup against a bipocalypse opponent, which should be interesting. I will still find a way to lose. And then Ryan is looking at Phil
well,
against
yeah.
Michaela.
Well, and I was gonna say, and we have the potential blowout of Jacob via Josh.
Yeah. He's gonna get
Yeah.
baptized.
Yeah, he's gonna get
Yeah, I can see this being a
Which
lot
is just
closer.
gonna make the West more
I
congested.
think he's gonna get the poo knocked out of him because Josh is your team
Well,
is
he
just
has
solid, dude.
Gino and Chubb and Kamara and Mike Williams. We'll see.
I
Is it
hate that you have
Jacoby? Yeah, Jacoby
CMC
Myers.
and Barkley. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it so much.
I don't know. But that's the
sucks.
show. We made it.
We have made it. So thank you again for
We have made it.
everyone for listening to our week 7 dream lineups and preview of From the Last Place Fantasy Football Podcast. Like Ryan said earlier, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment if you have any lineup questions or waiver possibilities. So those Sunday waivers, perfect timing.
They're
Now,
coming.
Ethan,
Waivers are coming.
now, Cardinal Ethan, what is our creed for this podcast?
Yes. Sometimes you're right. Sometimes you're Ryan. And I'll believe in Travis Etienne.
And may the
Who's-
fantasy gods be in your favor. See ya for
Good night.
news and injuries.
You guys are terrible.
Ryan sucks.